Okay. Hello, beautiful souls. So, if you're just tuning in, I am filming this right after the introductory video because I don't want to waste any time, right? I'm really excited to get this information out there and just try to explain this as best as I can. Um, so, this video will probably, most possibly, be titled Vibrations and Frequencies. Um, Basically, here's how I learn things, right? I learn things by deconstructing. When you want to learn about something, like for example, you want to learn how a bicycle works, then you deconstruct it to its most basic element, and then you put it back together. That way, you have a clear understanding, and this is a learning method. You probably know this by now. It's not something new. Um, so for me, when it comes to understanding creation, when it comes to understanding the universe, when I first was initiated and I started my awakening, my priority was to deconstruct because I wanted to understand what it was that I was going through and what it was that I needed to know so that I could facilitate this very painful process. Um, as I started deconstructed, I realized, just like other very famous people have, and that everything comes down to the atom, which is vibrations and frequencies. Now, Albert Einstein talked about this, Nikola Tesla talked about this, very famous people, scientists all over the world have talked about how if you want to understand the universe, then you need to understand vibrations and you need to understand frequencies. And these are your two building blocks. This is what constitutes creation or the reality in which we are participating in. Isn't this exciting? Isn't it fun? Yes, we love this, don't we? Um, so, for us to understand vibrations, we first need to understand what exactly is vibrating, right? Because for something to vibrate, there must be an object, or there must be something that is doing the vibration. So we keep deconstructing, right? For those of you that like the Bible, I don't personally read a lot about the Bible, but in Genesis, one of the first things that says is that in the beginning, God created light. That is true. In the beginning, God created. You know what? I realized I should have probably started with who is God, but I'm already into this, so I'm just gonna keep going with this, and then we'll go back. So, in the beginning, God created light. That means that God created a photon. And what is a photon? A photon is electromagnetic energy. God created, or not created, because he didn't create energy. He or it, God doesn't have a gender, but God is electromagnetic energy. That's what it is. Energy cannot be created, energy cannot be destroyed, energy can only be transformed. Everybody knows this. Laws of thermodynamics. We've all been through this. Energy is infinite. Why is energy infinite? Because energy is God, is consciousness. It is all that was, all that is, and all that ever could be, is just energy. So, God being electromagnetic energy, right? For this energy, because God does not exist in our third dimension, for this energy to manifest into the third dimension, it must form into matter. And how does energy transform into matter? Well, through the atom. So the atom is the smallest unit of matter. It is the smallest unit of matter because that's how matter starts, right? The third dimension, which is matter, and then if you want to talk, would be the fifth dimension higher, would be electromagnetic energy. So 12th dimension would be where the electromagnetic energy resides. So it's basically coming down on a cosmic level, right? So as it gets lower and lower, it becomes denser and denser and it constricts. So once this electromagnetic energy reaches the third dimension, it takes the shape or takes the form of an atom. Now it is the smallest unit of matter, and I kind of drew like a little odd picture here, but basically it's to explain that an atom contains all of the electromagnetic energy that is God, that is the entirety of creation. So in the nuclei, you got the protons and the neutrons. So the protons would be the electric energy, which is the positive energy. The neutron would be the neutral energy, which would constitute soul, consciousness, or God. And the free flowing electrons that are outside of the atom are magnetic energy. So these would be negative, so positive, neutral, and negative. That is the Holy Trinity. What? Yes, the Holy Trinity means proton, electron, and neutron. It means Father, Mother, and Son. The Holy Trinity, the three that constitutes the third dimension of creation, because that is what powers the atom, which is the energy in which God flows from. So, if that really makes sense, we have energy coming down into matter and then forming itself into an atom, which contains all form of electromagnetic energy, and that is the basis of creation and all that is matter. Now, once that we got that down, we go for vibration. Now, when I first started, I said that there had to be something that was vibrating, right? Well, that something is the atom. Atom. So the atom, because it contains energy, is in a constant state of vibration. Um, it doesn't stop. Basically, everything that is matter, everything that you can see, feel, touch, hear, is vibrating. You're just not aware of it. Well, not consciously aware of it yet. We're gonna get there. But right now, what you need to know is that vibration is the state of being of an atom. So each atom, of course, is different. Everything is, built differently. So everything is vibrating in a different state. Everything has a default state of vibration. When you go towards frequency, then you realize that the frequency is the default vibrational state. So the frequency would be on which does that vibration stay most of the time at, because you have to remember energy is constantly being transmuted, so it never sits in one place. It's never static. It's just constantly being moved, which is leads me to emotions. What is an emotion? An emotion is nothing more than energy in motion. An emotion is you perceiving the energy that is entering your nervous system, which is your antenna, basically. Um, so emotions are energy that you are perceiving. They are not real, although you may go, why? Well, yes, there's imbalanced chemicals in the brain that cause depression and anxiety, and yes, but that still, in essence, is energy. It's just energy misplaced. So, why does this matter, basically? It matters because of the scale of consciousness. So, over here, I have a paper that hopefully y'all can see well. You know what? First, let me start by saying that you, my beautiful soul, experiencing a human experience, you're an atom. Which is, I think, was it Da Vinci that discovered this, which is the drawing of the man. You, as a human, are just one giant atom, which means that you have positive, neutral, and negative energy. Yes, I'm going with this. So, because you are an atom, you are in a constant state of vibration because you never stop. You don't feel it, you're not aware of it, but you are constantly vibrating because you are energy that's not stuck, right? So it is important to know this because your vibration will determine your emotion or your state of being. Your vibration will determine how well you are doing in your life with all three of mentally, physically, and spiritually. You are a three-part being, right? Okay, so I stopped because I feel like I kind of lost my way there for a second, and then as I was reviewing the video, I realized that my face could not be seen. But that's okay. Because as I kept watching it, I was just like, I like it. At the end of the day, it's about this, right? You didn't come here to see me. You came here because you need to know whatever the hell is going on in your life, and this has to do with it, right? So let's focus on this. Um, so you may ask yourself, why would I care about this? Like, how does this help me? Like, why would I care about vibration and my frequency? Well, because now that we understand that your emotions are just energy that is moving through you, we understand that there are vibrations. And a lot of people want to feel happy. They want to feel peace. They want to feel good. No one wants to feel sad or fearful or anxious. So, this is why this matters. Because you need to know that everything that you are feeling is not real. It's just energy that's moving. And you know what the best thing about it is that as the energy is moving, that means that whatever you're feeling is temporary. It's not going to stay with you. The problem with humans is that when we feel something negative or something that's on a lower vibrational, our mind kicks in and we resist it. We are the ones creating basically a dam. Think of it like you're a beaver and you're creating a dam and you're blocking the flow of energy because you don't want to feel that low vibration. But the thing is, it's not real and it's moving. So it's not going to stay there. You just need to allow it to pass. But we're going to get there eventually. Right now, what I want to end this video on is that this is the basis of everything that you need to know. And Nikola Tesla, he figured it out and he said it, and Albert Einstein figured it out, and there's been multiple people throughout history that have figured this out, but no one wants to listen. And that's the problem. But that's why we're here, right? This is the foundation of the universe. This is how you guide your life because guess what? Your frequency, which is the default state of your vibration, is going to determine the type of life that you have, not just emotionally, but the opportunities that present themselves to you when you're vibrating at a higher frequency are going to be different because we are made in the image and likeness of God. We are creators, just like Him. We came here to create, but we forgot about that. And you may ask yourself, well, if I'm a creator, how do I create? Well, you create through your frequency and through your vibration because this is the language of the universe. This is the only thing that the universe is going to respond to. So when you prioritize this, guess what gets better? Everything in your life gets better. You don't need to stress or try to figure things out because you are everything. You are energy. You are one with creation. You're not separate from it, which is unity consciousness, which I will also get to. But I think I will end this here. And thank you, I guess. And we'll just see how this goes. Because there's a lot more that I need to talk about, but I just feel like I need to structure myself. But this is going to be a journey. I don't expect this to be a one hit thing. I expect myself to see growth. So I want, to start off choppy and messy and just progress myself, kind of like as a unit of measurement for me, because I'm 100% sure that this is what I incarnated here to do. I mean, I don't think I have any doubts anymore. This is exactly why I'm here. Um, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Thank you.